Invokers. He doesn't have that kid set.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's easily enough for a Sunstrike or Cataclysm, whichever way he goes later on. Once you have the maxed out call, I think early in the lane, level 1 Berserker's Call may not quite be enough for a Sunstrike setup, but that's if it is Extra Invoker, which right now it doesn't look like it will be. It's got the Wex coming out, so almost certainly will be Quas Wex initially.
Yep.
I think this is the better build versus the Queen of Pain. I think in the past, generally, like Quap Invoker, that's like a, I don't know, mid-matcher from like 4 or 5 years ago, but the Quas Wex, burning the Quap's mana, using that Cold Snap to stop the blink away with the urn ticks, it's just a very annoying build for Quap to play into.
Yeah, and especially now all the Quas regeneration that you get is going to really help you sustain through the Shadow Strikes from the Queen of Pain, which ever since, especially that this is granted healing to Quap, has been really instrumental for her kind of bullying a lot of these laners. I'm also interested because Invoker, more traditionally, when we have seen him, not the most common of picks for most teams, but we still see a couple of Invoker picks every now and then, has ignored the bottle, right? Has not felt the need to go for bottle. Even on some of the Exort Invokers, has still ignored the item, as Mickey and Bryle are going to be tossing some banners at each other. The Church of Babayev, of course, from Mickey. But I am curious whether or not Bryle's going to consider that. It seems like for now he's got the Circlet, implies to me maybe an Urn, maybe a second Null Tally. So eager to see how he's looking to play this. As Timado is going to be taking some
damage coming out. He'll survive through it, but Oxy got in very early to get this deep ward down, so they've got this cliff ward here.
And maybe Zai and Sania as well sticking around here, just looking for some more damage. Boxy with one of the longer attack ranges in the entire game.
Go TP to lane, and Ursa's going back to base to heal up. He's below half health, so he wants to not waste his Tango, so...
And Zai.
Oh, this is old school. This is where he's trying to body block it into the tower so the wave pushes. Dubu's trying to do some blocks himself.
Nice.
Oh, it's in the tower.
Oh, but he pulls it out.
Okay.
Very nicely done. So you can no longer aggro the first creep wave until they meet. They have adjusted this to stop some really silly creep phenomena from happening. But you can still body block it as they're not phased or anything like that, anything too crazy. So nice moves there by Dubu. Does kind of recover the lane. Timado is still going to be able to get some CS in this lane.
Yeah, it's still going to push out because the range creep insta-died, so double range creep on the Radiant side just means it's going to push, whereas the Dire side is only got the single one. So lane equilibrium will favor Team Liquid over time, and that's where their kill threat for an Axe Techies is really going to start to kick in once you get that creep wave away from the Radiant tower.
Absolutely. Dubu doing a good job here tanking up. It's probably going to be one of these lanes where he takes a couple of deaths, especially once he's out of mana, regeneration, and so long as it's not first blood, he'll be more probably than happy to do that, especially once Bryle starts asking for a couple of rotations. Already at half HP, already has the bottle being dispatched. Pretty good job here in the first couple of waves, keeping even slightly leading the Invoker for CS, and it is going to be the Quas Wex, of course, Invoker for Mickey.
Yeah, goes for level 1 Scream, which I think is better against a lane like this, non-melee hero, the Shadow Strike. You probably go back for it, I think. Yeah, it gets a point in it now. Helps with the sustain, but the Scream for the securing creeps is just, it's so nice.
Moon Meander up top lane is doing a phenomenal job so far, just harassing with his very high base damage. Ogre now, of course, these days, with less HP regen, but with plenty more damage to make up for it, is actually really close to matching his right-click damage, which is new to this patch, of course, but Insania is going to struggle to just be able to close the gap and efficiently trade. Having Shackles and, of course, Ether Shock as well on the Shaman means that it's just really difficult for Insania to efficiently trade.
Yeah. He goes for the Bloodlust level 2, not getting the Fire Blast point. It feels like he really wants to utilize the right clicks. One of the kind of, I think, forgotten things about Bloodlust is you do get bonus attack speed when you cast on yourself. So combine that with your plus 20 base damage that Ice Frog granted the new patch. There's a lot of right-click potential in lane with a Bloodlust Ogre.
Oh yeah, certainly. Especially because you still do have that melee damage block, which is very nice on the hero, especially versus this Moon Meander Shaman. Yeah, we saw this yesterday. I want to say TSM were running it as their support duo. The 0-1-1 builds at level 2. Not going for that Fire Blast, going for a little bit of greed in the Bloodlust, and actually Bloodlusting yourself, as you say, for that efficiency in the attack speed. Zai might be in some trouble here. They do get rid of the Tombstone, though, and that, I believe, will free him. You know, Techie's not the...
That's a lot of gold.
It is, actually. That's a good point. Techie's not the best Tombstone hitter, but from range, he can get it down.
Yeah, Duba was going for the deny. I think he just got a bit greedy and wanted to harass a bit more. Like I'm like, okay, this is fine. He'll just deny it. Like there's no way Techie should last hit, but he just made a bit of a mistake there and was too far away. But this big camp pull has just been constantly contested. Like first, I saw TSM pull it and deny 2 range creeps.
Oh, no.
Techie's gonna find a courier.
It's the boots.
But then, oh, that's a big one. Yeah, that's a nice little find. That Dire Observer was just scouting these couriers coming out, and Techie's utilizing that to great effect.
It's an interesting courier now. Oh, okay. I see. I was just he named his courier, so I was just giving it a quick Google.
Oh.
Couldn't find anything too interesting from the first page of results. Yeah, I don't know. I never noticed when people rename their couriers. I always like the renaming stuff. The Bears, constantly being named. The was it Snake King renaming his blue Observer wards or blue sentries? Or yeah, he renamed his blue observers to Sentry Ward, which is hilarious.
I think we did that too the other game. Because I remember seeing a ward and it said Sentry Ward. I was like, that's given vision. That's not a Sentry Ward. So I think it's caught on.
It has caught on. I think that's really cool. This really deep level of metagame.
Yeah.
Tomato is having a bit of difficulties now versus the harassive Zai. They did actually pretty significantly buff Battle Hunger, in my opinion. This move speed slow a lot higher now when you're not facing the axe. Boxy has now mana, has Blast Off at the ready. The call, though, is onto Dubu. Not enough damage, though, for the kill onto Tomato because of the stick, but Boxy actually is going to get the job done. Tomato falls first. Dubu gets a return kill onto Boxy because of the Tombstone.
Double kill.
A double kill for Dubu.
Yeah, he's suddenly almost level 5. That's not how that one was, meant to necessarily go for TSM. It's, I guess, a small win for them. Ursa dying first, not ideal, but suddenly you've got this Undying who's going to be an absolute beast in lane as he's about to hit level 5 this early on.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't really expecting the Undying to have this great of a time, especially with 1-1-1. That's at the time was just first point in Tombstone. All of a sudden, he's about to have 3 points in Tombstone by the time it's ready again. Might actually be pretty punishing here for the Zai's axe. And he's getting right back to work here. He's actually on top of the flag bearer creep, pulling it away from the wave to make sure you can get that AoE gold.
Yep. Yeah, don't run too far away from a Boxy, but both teams rotating for the 6-minute runes now. We'll see if it spawns top or bottom. Quap's hoping for it top, but unfortunately, it goes the way of the Invoker bottom.
Checking back mid, so that'll be an empty bottle for Bryle for now. They have secured him the top bounty rune, though. You can see Moon Meander on his way back over. After he tried to rotate mid, is at least going to scout that for him.
Yeah. Insania rotated for it, but he, I think, recognized it was going to be a little bit too late. And they're pinging the Ogre. Could be a kill for the Queen of Pain if they want to rotate on over.
Saberlight. Matumba jumping on over, doing what he can, but he may have overcommitted here. There is a Sonic Wave ready. Matumba with 2 points in the Jingu gets the kill at the very least, but Bryle is going to be able to trade him away immediately. It's actually Insania who lives. Bryle looking for body blocks. There's the Boar Poison being applied. Level 2 here, so Insania is going to turn and try and get some right clicks in. Good tornado from Mikke here. He's going to get out another Ignite. Bryle completely out of mana, but does have the infused raindrops. Insania is still alive. Bryle will give him a tip of the hat here. Who does get actually still his healing salve canceled. The Boar hounding him now. Moon Meander TP's on over to refill the bottle of Bryle. That'll be some more mana for sure, as Insania's going to throw on another Ignite. Beautiful little shackle animation there, and Insania still will end up falling all the same, but lots of time wasted there.
Yeah, that was at least 2 creep waves mid. I feel like that Bryle wasn't a part of, and it wasn't like he's rotating and a support takes a lane. It was just creeps that are lost this early on. So I think overall, the efficiency of what just happened for TSM probably negated by the... Like, they get the kills, but it's negated by the fact they missed out on quite a bit of creeps. So, good move from the Invoker. Top lane, they are going to make a move on Natu. Oops, sorry,
no spins. No spins. Could have been a close one there.
Yeah. He's... with that level 6 before the Ursa does create a window where he could be in some trouble, but it's Beastmaster. I'm getting rotated on here by Mikke's Invoker, and I'm not sure there's anything they can really do about this one.
Nope, the shackles do hold down Mikke, but he's going to get the Urn charge. No spells needed, as Mikke at least just tanking through a spell. A little bit of lag there. I felt that one too, Insania. And for once, I'm actually in the server region that I'm casting from, so let's probably just going to wait and let the ping settle a bit here.
But it's kind of, the Quat rotates, gets a couple kills while losing some CS. It's a similar story there. I feel like Invoker was a bit quicker and also gets the earn charges, which is like, okay, now that's like when you're online as Invoker. You need those earn charges. That's where you get the full strength from your Cold Snap EMP Tornado combo. So Mickey can basically counter gank with any TP or even just make moves himself to any of these side lanes now that he's got these earn charges.
Bryle getting to work, doing the next best thing, right? Can't really, at this stage, match the rotations of the Invoker. TP may have been on cooldown, didn't have Sonic Wave, whatever his reasons were. Gets immediately towards pushing the mid wave and trying to do some chip damage to the tower, but it is fairly limited here. Mickey pretty quickly back to the lane with the Wex movement speed and is going to be able to defend from too much lasting damage.
Right back to it up top, though. TSM, I think they can maybe get Insania's Ogre.
There's a call bottom.
They were like tried to chop down the tree, but again, the Invoker rotates.
Yeah, Insania still alive on a hair of HP, and once again will live through it. Brylo is TP'd on over. Mickey with the Ghost Walk slow onto Moon Meander allows Matumba to get in a little bit more damage. Zai gets the kill bottom, so it seems like the blast off into call dunk does eventually come through. But they will trade away Boxy. Dubu is going to be fine. He's a bit too tanky.
Yeah, he's level 6.5. He gets another kill by himself. They're probably not thrilled that it's the Undying cleaning up in this bottom lane. They'd rather it's the Ursa surviving through and getting these kills. Because Tomato's Battle Fury is going to be coming up pretty slow this game.
And that was the first dunk as well for Zai. He did secure it with a dunk. Couldn't catch both kills, unfortunately. But I think that was a nice play by Liquid either way. They see the Quap go top. They go aggressively top and bottom same time. Force Bryle to make a decision. And I think they're going to be happy with the outcomes they got there. Matumba lives. The Ursa dies. Zai gets a first stack. And now even Liquid looking to apply more pressure onto Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Mickey's been great. Like these moves, the second there's a fight breaking out, he's TPing in up top, and now he's also going to start his own moves with decent dire vision in the jungle. Tomato, this game's just getting completely crippled here.
Yeah, he does dispel at least the cold snap, but he's going to be silenced now. In comes Zai. Ghost Walk as well, applied super slow. 160 the remove speed on the Ursa. Just going to try and unleash now into Boxy. Zai's tracked the wave over. Easy spins for him. Finds the second dunk in the game. The TSM response here. We'll see if they can look to try and find Matumba, but not only has he scouted this one coming, he's moved all the way back into the trees.
He's not going to show himself. They had the lane ward, so I believe he got a good read of what's going on here. Even with the smoke,
and here's Mickey
on the TSM side.
Actually catch Bryle here. Bryle does manage to blink away in time. The cold snap not going to prevent him from doing that. The roar as well will hold back Matumba Man as they've got the Centaur Conqueror from Saberlight's helm. Continuing to stun him up. Zombies as well, actually. TSM, they're going to make a play for this, but I believe he avoids the damage there with the Mischief. Stunned all the same, though, and still killed off as Moon is going to close the gap with the level 2 Shackles, providing a Bryle set up for the double kill.
Well, turns out having a level 4 Tomato this early on makes a big difference.
He might die again. There's a dunk ready. There's a couple of spins from Zai, just out of range. Boxy even diving tier 1 for this. Oh, Tomato doesn't have the phase boots. Slowed a second time. TSM gets the tower. In the meantime, top lane, and Moon is going to show up now to support Tomato, who is thinking about turning around, would like to get a kill for this. Has Earthshock at the ready. Zai, not sure who he should really go on. Boxy's got blast off again in 5 seconds. Oh, even taking up points early in the reactive taser, expecting Tomato to make the jump. But it's going to be Zai who finds the dunk onto Moon Meander. Better him, though, than the Ursa. That's probably what TSM's thinking.
Zai is having a game now. 4-1. Already 3 permanent armor harvested from his Culling Blade, as the tooltip says. He's having a good time. This bottom lane is just being completely destroyed by him with the help of the techies.
Techies off to a really good start, too, as Mickey. Continuing to harass Tomato. Tomato just trying to get... You know, it's interesting, right? Because he's going for full Orb of Corrosion, and then it feels like... I'm going to use the word doubling back, maybe, to the farming build, as he decides, I need a Battle Fury this game. We've got to try and outscale this Monkey King, and he's not going to, I guess, feel ready to fight with, like, a first item Diffusal or something like that on the Ursa.
Yeah, I at least most of the Ursas I've seen is still going for this Battle Fury build, but it does feel very slow. And particularly, you're playing with, like, a Beastmaster in your team, so... He's going to need his team to create a lot of space for him, and that's exactly what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, blinking up. They've got dire vision, but they still have not revealed Moon Meander. There he goes. Saberlight as well, closing the gap, running through Techie's minds for the roar. Matumba runs all the way back into the jungle, but Liquid will not TP in anyone over to defend him. Instead, they look to apply more pressure once again onto Timado, who is stuck in the ice wall, but will run through it. Meander is once again going to put his body on the line here as he throws the Serpent Wards into the mid lane, and that will at least scare away Liquid for now. Zai, though, with another dunk, I believe. No, doesn't get the kill on the dunk.
Okay. Yeah, they using their vision well on the TSM side, considering they're off to a bit of a slower start. But getting a kill on Matu's Monkey King, just buying time for Ursa to get some farm going.
Alarm XD. It seems like, unfortunately, the alarm has come back. Sadly, we are on the C stream and don't have the player cameras to see exactly what's going on. But much like the Stockholm Major group stage, it seems like there is some trouble for us at the venue.
Okay, gives us time to kind of sit back. A lot at stake in this series, so we'll see if these teams will be able to get back underway soon. But it does seem like it's a fire alarm. It may be an extended one. ESL getting cursed with all the fire alarms. I mean, two different sides of the world, and it's the same thing happening.
Yeah, it's a little funny how that one works. The game's too hot, but luckily this one seems to be a shorter break. As the admin giving the all clear. And the admin even going for the unpause. So a short break for us here in the action, which I'm sure Zai mighty appreciates, right? We talk about momentum. Pauses in pro games, not really something, it's not a strat, right? It's not something you can really prepare for, nor should teams, right? But in games like these, where Zai's absolutely popping off, he's about to have a 13-minute blink, Vanguard, upgraded boots already, Soul Ring. He is getting ready to take over this game. I'm sure he really wants to get online and was not too happy for that pause.
Yeah, he's probably telling his Voker, like, dude, start getting those exort points, man. I got my blink up. I don't think usually 4 quests is kind of the limit, and then now you just start maxing exort. He's got the Midas. This is like a must pick up on Invoker for this very particularly Quas-Wex Invoker, because you always want to scale into the mid game with exort. So here we go. First smoke rotation with the new blink. They're looking for Saberlight up top, but he's not an easy find.
No, he isn't, especially because he's got vision to give on the creeps. He's going to hide away in the trees. Liquid are going to see his creeps farming, so they know he's in the vicinity, especially because he is giving the aura. But over in the jungle, Boxy, maybe baited, as he blast offs underneath the tier 2 tower to retreat. Zai now positioned well from behind, is not giving off any auras, and this could be a big meaty jump onto Saberlight. All the creeps and the skellies on top with a spicy meatball there. Saberlight can't even get off the roar before he's dunked off by Zai, who is looking to immediately TP away. Bryle has nothing to stop it. A beautiful tornado from Mickey is going to allow him to disengage cleanly. Now that is a fantastic blink opening from Zai.
Yeah. He caught him with all the summons. It was just like perfection. The Invoker meatball follow-up. It was crazy because Beastmaster was like juking him for a good 30 seconds, completely, like almost accidentally by luck. They're not done.
Big.
On Dubu as well.
Liquid with this kill onto Dubu. They're also really preventing this Ursa from getting into the Roche pit. And not like I feel like he's ready anyway, with only half of the Battle Fury completed, but it is, of course, something that's always on the Ursa's to-do list in the early game. Roshan, number 1.
Yeah, any teamfight Liquid loses, unless they like only slightly lose it, is likely going to be Roshan for TSM. So it is kind of a slightly precarious position. Losing Roche not the end of the world, but they'd much rather like remain the ones in control, keep going for these successful smoke ganks.
Absolutely. I think even furthermore, now that they've been able to get that kill onto Saberlight exactly, perhaps the reason this time they prioritize the smoke reveal onto Saber and not onto Bryle or Timato's Ursa is because now you've really removed Saberlight from top lane. Normally what you see these Beastmasters, these Broodmothers do is they kind of play top and they kind of deny the enemy jungle, in this case for Liquid. That does 2 things. One, of course, is it shrinks the size of the map that Liquid has to farm, so your cores can catch up and find farm. But 2, in this case, because he's on a Radiant Beastmaster, he kind of denies Liquid of access to easily contest Roche. So by uprooting him and forcing him to go now bottom instead, Liquid really accomplish a lot with the move.
Yeah, I think they feel like the map's in a way better place for them. There's still a nice Radiant Ward. It will be expiring up near that top outpost, but if you're TSM, you're thinking, we haven't got much vision now. Roshan is the objective we want to get. They've got a ward at the Roshan pit, but you kind of feel like there's no easy place to make because your top lane is so pushed in that you're just trying to like regain control over this area of the map, but it's not that easy to do.
No, absolutely.
Now that Liquid have kind of set up camp there.
Priorities have shifted from TSM, as you're saying. This does free up the game as well for Matumbaman to continue farming up on the Monkey King. He's going for Echo Saber and Desolator, by the way, so he's probably ready to join a fight. By the time that Ursa maybe has Battle Fury, I don't think he'll quite get that second Mithril Hammer in time, but it won't be too far behind here on the Ursa, so he can very easily show up and contest a Roche fight should TSM find themselves in that position. Bryle coming along very nicely as well for his itemization. He's got Kaya and Sanj at the ready, but Invoker with a completed Vessel might be able to just really set up some kills here for the team as Liquid will smoke up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, TSM lost a lot of map control after getting pushed out of the top side of the map, but they've responded by just farming, which I kind of like. Like, they've got this battle here. Ursa coming. Beastmaster may get caught here, though. He's been kind of greedily camped down this jungle for a while.
It's going to break. It's nighttime, so they can't really see where the boars are now.
They realize where he is.
Yeah, they are going to see where the Satyr Banisher came from, and they likely know, but there's action over towards the mid lane where Zai is going to jump in, find two heroes with the call. Follow-up silence from Boxy is on the mark. The damage on Moon Meander overwhelming as the second proximity mine still not going to kill him, but they're focusing down onto Dubu. Both supports dead. Tombstone dropped, though, so Liquid are going to be disengaging out from this one.
Managed to make sure he at least got his tomb off. 2 supports for 1. Liquid would love to get this middle tier 1 tower. That's going to really put a lot of pressure on TSM, considering they want to kind of play this more passive farming style. And Matu with this more fighting carry build with the Treads, Echo Saber, almost Desolator. They take this mid tier 1 tower, they finish a Deso. Suddenly it's Liquid who are the ones who can take that Roshan and cause problems for TSM.
Zai's looking to go fishing here with some of these Blink Stagger. Actually, Tomato's the one, he triggered a proximity mine here. Check out all the mines that Liquid have in the area out from Boxy. Yeah. The Observer Ward as well will scout Tomato. They really do not want Saberlight or even the Ursa to move into the jungle here and set up shop.
It's, you know, kind of unconventional, but TSM are playing much more around this bottom side of the map. Like, they're farming the bottom lane, they're farming their own jungle, just because that's where they feel safest. This is one of, like, the unique things about Techies is if you lose control of part of a map and Techies gets to set up camp and put down a bunch of mines, you just don't want to go there until you, like, win a fight and you're able to properly clear it out as a team.
Yeah. Whereas you and I, if we were to go camping, we might first set up a tent, maybe set up the Wi-Fi most likely. Techies, he plants the proximity mines, he puts down a couple observer wards, and he just lies and waits. Much more of a hunter, this guy.
Oh, old move. Just walk into Roshan.
Yeah, they've got Serpent Wards and...
Surely Liquid don't let him get this.
Zai is going to make the initiation onto Dubu. They want to try and prevent the Tombstone from coming down, and they have not done that. It's already placed inside the Roche pit, so Liquid can't actually reach it. Boxy's going to die.
Great Tombstone.
Liquid being forced away from this Roche fight. There's Helm of the Overlord as well at the ready, but it's Bryle with the Sonic Wave. Whips right through Zai's axe. There's 500 gold for him, and very likely Roche, but Liquid, they don't want to still give this up for free. Tombstone's got 5 seconds left on it. The bash from Roche onto Ursa does delay it, but at the end of the day, it's still TSM who get first Aegis. Can they get out cleanly, though, is now the question, as Liquid... Oh, they think about pushing up to that triangle, but now Bryle is going to send them scattering. But Tumbaman is here, though, is unscouted, gets off the Wukong's command. Sunstrike onto Bryle, he's dead. The pushback as well, disarming and stopping Saberlight and Moon from counter-initiating as Matumba even was looking for more there with the Alacrity, feeling pretty strong.
Just perfect punish. Once the Quad blinks in aggressively, they just know that she can be bursted there with the Boundless into Sunstrike and... clean up the end of the fight. There is still an Aegis in the hands of the Ursa. I love the move from TSM, forcing that Roshan with the Tombstone in the pit. That they had like 7 zombies on this axe. Like, Zai was just crawling his way out of that fight. There was nothing he could really do. And it was just a great setup with the Serpent Wards plus Tombstone. The problem with Serpent Wards in the Roche pit by themselves is Roche one-shots them now. But with the Tombstone zombies, they were able to tank most of Roche's hits, so they could just continue to Roche even while Ursa was taking the fight.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and that's the biggest aspect of it, right? Normally Ursa, he loses those stacks onto Roche, and a move like that normally from Liquid is able to at least, kind of reset the fight. Roche is still about 2/3 half HP. TSM can't quite finish it off, but like you're saying, with Tombstone and Serpent Wards, it's a done deal for them here. And while first Aegis, not super exciting for Ursa, at least here for Tomato, who has had a little bit of a rougher early game, it is going to secure him 5 minutes of basically safe farm, and with Battle Fury, that means at least BKB, maybe one fight here, maybe Blink Dagger, but most importantly, sets you up nicely for that second Roche, which still comes with that shard, still very much something that Tomato is going to be looking to achieve.
Does feel a bit more like a farming Aegis rather than a fighting one, but perhaps with the BKB completed, that'll change. He's got 3 minutes, and he's only 1,000 gold from that BKB, so could suddenly see a change in pace from TSM.
Top, we see Bryle disappear. Matumba Man and Boxy show him a magic trick, and with the assistance of Invoker mid lane, he is gone. Made him disappear.
Yeah, that's the TSM with this kind of greedy farming style. They're trying to farm all 3 lanes, farm as much jungle camps as possible, and at some points, these pickoffs will happen, and Max will happily take that plus 250 gold.
Oh, for sure. Of course, he's not going to get the stack on that. It's only for the hero kill. It's on cooldown for another 85 seconds, but 250 gold, not bad. Insania.
If TSM want to go with this Aegis, they've got to finish this BKB soon. See if they have any. Yeah, they've got a smoke and undying. I imagine maybe the call is like finish this BKB and then let's just go smoke right away while we can take a fight with Aegis.
Do you think they feel pressure to do so? I think reflexively my question is, what's the rush? Matumba, about to have a BKB on his own, but with Deso BKB, it feels like, sorry, with Deso Echo being the build for Matumba, it feels like you have kind of stopped a lot of this early pressure from being applied.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's not necessarily a rush. I think it's more the idea that, hey, we can take a favorable fight because, yeah, you're going to have BKB, but I don't think you want to just sit back and passively farm for too long because Liquid are going to keep getting pick-off after pick-off if you play this super greedy style.
Yep.
There's got to be an item at some point where you're like, okay, now we fight.
Probably, yeah, I would say Basher on Ursa is usually, I think, what his, traditionally it's been. I don't think he's changed too much in between this patch and the last. But I think that's when really TSM are going to look to fight. Still a minute and some change left on this Aegis, though. For now, though, TSM, what they have at least managed to achieve is, yes, BKB on Ursa, but also a little bit more map control. We can see now Saberlight moving back comfortably into the enemy jungle. A couple of wards being set up here with the boars. Dubu as well, scouting and demining with his body. So good stuff here from TSM.
Yep. And taking out the techie's mind, so that's progress. It's top part of the map, and that's that's part of, I guess, is this Aegis strength is that they know Team Liquid don't really want to fight into them at this stage, and also all this vision control that the Beastmaster brings to the table. He's got an Agshot now, so the dive bomb also coming in from these Hawks, something you have to be wary of.
Very true. They root now, though. They no longer stun. It's a long route, 2.5 seconds, but and they can be auto-cast, so you too can do this in your pubs if Beastmaster's a little bit too much micro for you. Liquid, they're looking for a fight though, gods. It's 20 seconds left on this Aegis. They for sure timed it, so they don't want to initiate onto Tomato. They'd rather have that Aegis expire mid-fight.
Yeah. They're hoping for a different target, or maybe they'll jump him once that Aegis is down to like 3 or 4 seconds. But
with Invis, he's going to scout him.
Perfect position.
Tomato's in, wants to use this Aegis. In fact, he uses the Enrage. I'm not so sure this is such a great fight for TSM anymore.
Yeah, they're using these boars just to cover their retreat. They'll feed away another Ancient Creep, but...
Oh, but they're holding the ward. In goes Zai. He's going to whiff on the call. Good blink back by I'm not sure who blinked back there. Bryle, potentially?
Yeah. I mean, TSM have the vision advantage, but I just feel like Liquid... They've got the high ground, but it's Liquid who all it takes is one jump with a blink call and someone's getting deleted. I don't feel like TSM have that insta-kill threat on their side as much, particularly with like no blink dagger on Ursa to get on top of someone who gets roared or shackled.
Yeah, absolutely. I think TSM just lying in wait, essentially, here. They've got fantastic vision here. I think this ward may be inside, but yep, Quap Top is likely to drop top as well. Mickey with another Sunstrike. Zai finding the call initiation, I believe all set up by the Boundless Strike of Matumba Man. That's been incredibly effective here at cleaning off the Quap, and honestly, I don't know what she does about it. Some Quaps, to solve these issues where she is getting caught out, will simply go for like a Linken's, maybe BKB. That's not going to do anything for you this game.
Yeah, the only maybe consideration is like an Aeon Disc, but that doesn't feel the greatest. So I think you've just got to, be more respectful of the pick-off potential. Like, Axe isn't showing, you can't farm a lane like that.
There they go. That's actually, the jump onto Saberlight. Another Sunstrike, good damage. Matumba Man's going to BKB up. As the Tombstone in the middle of the fight. Tomato, though, winning the 1v1. Bears over monkeys, it would seem, as now they turn onto Zai. Shackled and easily killed. Tomato shrugging off all those spins as Insania can go absolutely nowhere with the amount of zombies they had on him. Liquid, they focused down Saberlights and maybe even hyper-focus onto Saberlight to lose 3 heroes.
This dying is so fat in these fights. He did more damage than everyone except for the Ursa in that fight. Getting these good tombstones off. He was dealing with the backlines there. It was definitely all like the Ursa and the Shaman were dealing with like the, the main problems of the fight. They kill the Monkey King and the Axe in the front lines, but yeah, for Liquid there, like a bit of an overcommitment. I think they got a little bit too excited after, finding the Queen of Pain kill. Prior to that, they felt like, okay, with a numbers advantage, we should take this fight. But you see here in the replay, like, Invoker and Techies, they're not there. Invoker does boot to travel in, but by the time he's there, it feels like the fight's already lost.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And now as a result, TSM, because they've got some pretty serious push, they put up the Tombstone, they take down, the top tier 2 tower. Dubu is going to move on forward and take down the outpost, or capture the outpost. They've lost a couple of wards. They've lost this cliff ward, but pardon me, they have retained this one crucially, which is a pretty sneaky ward spot. Gives you decent vision of enemies rotating into the jungle from like the top or maybe the mid lane. But that one's not scouted, so that alongside Hawks, TSM in a very strong position with a strong hold, I should say, over the Liquid jungle.
Yeah, the kind of pressures on Liquid to do something to regain vision or make a play to contest upcoming Roshan. TSM are going to look to regain bottom control.
And Moon has clipped himself with the bash onto Matumba Man. The tornado shrugged off by Tomato's BKB, and Moon is going to drop a tip onto Matumba there. Oof.
That's back-to-back deaths on the carry Monkey King. First top, now bottom. He spent a lot of the last couple of minutes of this game just dead, and Roshan is back alive. An early respawn with a DD Ursa. I don't think it's been scattered just yet, but boy, is that a huge find.
Yeah, and something interesting here. I'm wondering what Tomato's thinking, because he bought a Blink and then he sold it immediately, and now he's rebought it. Okay, I thought maybe if he was thinking, like, if I go Abyssal Blade, we can close out this game. Abyssal, to me, especially this early, is so punishing when you're expecting your BKBs to get you through these fights. Having that, BKB piercing stun to set up for the Fury swipes can really be a game ender for most teams, but he's decided instead to go for the Blink Dagger. More traditional build-up, I'd say, by the Ursa.
They're looking to use this ward to try find a fight with the DD.
Oh, and Tomato's in, but a very, very good deafening blast
nice
here. Disarmed. Has no BKB for 25 seconds. Has a front flip in one, so can just hop off the cliff here into the river if he needs, but he's got Saberlight to back him up, so he's trying to kite him into the enemy team. Moon as well making the jump in. He's going to be hyper-focused now. As Boxy with the leap is going to be able to get the kill onto Tomato. It goes to Zai. Sonic Wave from behind as Bryle now joins the fight. At least gets through Insania, but here's Matumba Man. He's just respawned. Does not have a shard, so he needs to actually get on top of these heroes, which has proven to be the difficult part for him in this fight. But TSM have lost the Ursa here, and second Roche is up. There's the roar as Mikke is slowing Saberlight. Oh, he's got Ogre Seal Club as well to get underneath the tier 1 tower, but that's not going to save him. Zai finds another dunk up to 7, and it seems like this Roche will be going the way of Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, a bit too greedy, perhaps? Like, trying to force that fight with just 2 heroes initially. That was just the Undying plus the Ursa at the start. I think Ursa like, oh yeah, I've got this DD, I'm kind of unkillable, but he doesn't have an Aegis, he doesn't have BKB, and they forced that fight with no BKB on Ursa, and they completely paid the price for it.
Very difficult for them. Ursa as well, no buyback. TSM, though, not confident in their ability to do Roche, not at least without Zai there to tank for them, so this does give some time, actually, for the Ursa to potentially respawn back in.
Yeah.
Roche is low. I think too low here, guys. I think they will get it for Liquid.
Yeah, I think Liquid got scared they were being rotated on, and then they're like, oh, wait a second. Even now, they're still scared. They're dropping Wukongs. TSM are nowhere nearby.
Yeah, I just think it's got to do with how important they know this Roche is for the Ursa's game. Significantly slows them down, right? Not getting that free 1,400 gold item on the Ag Shard. Tomato's going to have to purchase that after Blink, after Satanic, does add a little bit more to his laundry list. The wards are sorry, I should say the smoke gank is going to be popped by the proximity mines, essentially acting as wards through smoke. A very big strength of the techies.
Monkey now with the new shard. There's that Boundless Strike jump on, the leap in.
So it's fast, but it's not. I think the advantage is you don't have to. You can use it while Primal Swing's on cooldown, basically, is what the advantage is. And in late game fights, when you just want to get on top of enemies, you do a fantastic job at just that. It's not as fast as you might expect from reading it, but it's still very good. I really like this Ag a lot, actually.
Well, despite having an Aegis, TSM are pushing forward. They drop Serpent wards mid. They want this tier 2 tower.
No,
They're taking over this bottom side of the map. Smoke from Liquid, though.
TSM, oh, nice.
Ado pops it and blinks away.
Yeah, he knew that there was trouble. Literally no one defending mid. I think the techies is even showing top. So TSM are definitely going to know that something's up. They're going to set up at least some secure vision here in the triangle. They've got a ward not on the cliff, but I think maybe good enough to scout Matumba Man. Saberlight has Roar ready to go in, but instead he's going to find himself jumped. Gets off the BKB, but Zai as well with the call. Doesn't get it off his own BKB, and he is deleted.
Yeah. They do get the Roar on Matu, but they don't want to follow it up because the Wukong's down, so he's just a little bit too tanky. But now Wukong is on cooldown, so Bryle, he's got himself some confidence.
That he does. The Liquid have a lack of it as they're going to have to leave behind Insania, but the jump back on in by Matumba Man on the Boundless Strike Shard. It's not good enough. Bryle simply BKBs. He's actually still beating the back. I think Boxy's stuck. Boxy's stuck there. Finding a cliff on the low ground. Eventually they'll free him, but only to send him back to the fountain. That's just unlucky.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was like he was stuck between a cliff and a tree or something.
Yeah, it looks like it in this little pocket here, something like that.
Yep, and a great fight for TSM. I mean, this is Dota Basics 101. Plan a ward and fight around it. It wasn't a cliff ward. It was a bit more of a sneaky ward further north, but they knew they had de-warded the cliff with the sentry, so they're like, all right, we'll just camp here, wait for them to show themselves, come at us. And the first hero you see, I mean, Ursa's single target burst damage is insane at this point with the items he's got, so BKB does not save you at all against this Ursa.
Yeah, no, not at all. Even if Zai had activated it, I believe he gets caught by the Hex of the Shaman. So that proved to be a little bit too difficult for him to live through, especially as you say, with the burst of the Ursa on top. Luckily, Liquid are only going to end up losing the offlaner and the supporting cast here. They conserve Aegis. I don't believe they got on top of the Invoker either. Nikke is continuing to farm up, still not considering the Ix Scepter though, so no Cataclysm for him, much more spellcaster-based. Octarine Core, very few heroes really take advantage of this item as much, at least for its cooldown reduction component, as much as an Invoker does.
You mentioned the Ogre Seal Tome before. It doesn't look like there's too many other new items coming into play. Well, the Eye of the Vizier, so Ogre rocking the minus 20% on his mana pool, but
already with just 2.5 int gain per level. Feels a bit mean, but I suppose it is in according to lore. Matumba, though, is fighting. He's found Ursa. Ursa, though, is going to find him back with a bash into the Roar. Nowhere Matumba can go. He BKB'd on first life. That's his Aegis, sure, but what can he do on the second now? As a Tornado is going to be shrugged out by Motomato and Saberlight. The permabash. Oh, my goodness. Matumba could do nothing. The jump from Zai, it's just a second too late, and there's no follow-up here. He might even get bashed. No. A little bit fortunate for him.
How is there no bash?
Bryle.
That was like 5 hits.
It did seem to be about 5 hits. I'll agree with you there. But Zai getting out. The rest of his team not as lucky as it's just Nikke who's able to escape the fight. He's able to engage from long range thanks to the Octarine. But Matumba Man kicking off the fight with a cheeky kill onto Moon Meander is going to lose the rest of it.
Yeah, this Beastmaster steroids on the Ursa is looking to be a bigger and bigger problem. Monkey King just melting there. It feels like I don't know, he's got 20 base armor, but it's just not enough survivability. I mean, I think that's just the beauty of Ursa as a carry, the scaling you get in these melee versus melee carry matchups. As long as you can hit people, like there's not like a carry in Dota that really matches up against Ursa if you're not kiting him, locking him down, disarming him. So that's a problem when you look at the rest of the Liquid draft. They need this Axe to almost always be getting on top of the Ursa, but with the status resist of Enrage, that's pretty tricky.
It is very difficult. It feels like Tornado needs to land, right? These lifted movement abilities from Yule's, Cyclone type abilities, and of course Tornado inclusive, like Torrent as well in this list, and Toss are not reduced by status resist. But the BKB has always been ready for Tomato. I'm pretty sure he's well aware of this fact. If he finds himself enraged and Tornado, I think he's going to be pretty mad IRL as well.
Yep. I think it's still worth maybe even grabbing like a Yule Scepter on someone like an Axe. He has this Sanjin Kaya queued up. He actually had some money. What did he end up buying here?
Seems like maybe the Force Staff is new for him.
Oh, Force Staff. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
I also
definitely kiting the Ursa is going to be the name of the game if you're Liquid.
I wonder if counter Helix Shard is maybe worth it. Does just flat reduce damage to Axe by, what is it, 15%? You know, on attack reductions. I don't know, that might seem okay.
Especially at the price point. Like right now you're like, you know, there's not anything else you can get like with your gold that's going to help. The other option is buyback, of course, which is pretty useful at this stage, but farming up another like 4,000 or 5,000 gold item as Axis game is going to take you
forever.
Some time.
Yeah, it'll take a long time. Plus buyback on top. I agree with what you're saying. Saberlight used this shard, by the way, yesterday, and it actually prompted Yuragi to all chats, nice shard. So, you know, that's the reason. Yuragi said it in an official. I think it's a pretty good shard. I'd agree with him. That guy's pretty smart. He's won a few games of Dota 2 before.
Yeah, I mean, the increased spin chance is pretty nice too. Not just the debuff, so it does seem like a pretty nifty little option that he could go for. I guess the issue is, I mean, Ursa's just going to status resist it off maybe, but...
I guess so, but if it's reapplied every spin, I mean, I guess you need to get lucky, but Zai a bit lucky there, able to TP out without being bashed, so I continue rolling the dice, and I hope that's not another alarm. We'll see here.
Yeah, hopefully not. So tier 4 neutral items coming out soon. Nothing much changed there. It was what, just the Havoc Hammer, right?
Which is a consideration against an Ursa, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Someone like Axe could really benefit from that one, I imagine.
A headset broke. I wonder.
It's a new one.
What do you think on Liquid broke their headset now?
Yeah. How do you break a headset mid game?
They use those noise canceling helicopter headsets too, you know?
Yeah. I feel like everyone in Liquid's pretty chill. I don't know who'd be throwing headsets around.
No, I completely agree. I'm not really sure. I guess it's maybe just a cable got ran over by a chair one too many times. That tends to happen to me. Happens to us all. But an even game here, I'd say. No one really getting ran over in a gaming chair or otherwise in this one. Nice back and forth here. With, I want to say, Liquid having a pretty good lead early, even kind of commanding, especially with the decision and the ability that they had to usurp second Roche away from the Ursa. But TSM with some nice fights, definitely swinging it back in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, they were up like 70% win probability earlier on, but TSM have definitely, I mean, like you say, they've really pulled it back and they put themselves in a great position. They're really itemized for some of these late game timings too. Like they've got this BKB AC on Queen of Pain. We'll see. I feel like this is the time of the game where the Invoker really needs to be the one shining in these fights. Like a Blink Hole into a big Sunstrike. I mean, he hasn't got the Cataclysm.
No, it's really curious, the decisions and the itemizations. I'd be really curious to see maybe one day if players will ever talk about the decisions in this game. Yeah. Bryle, for example, where he has previously favored the Acceptor build, has gone for a little bit more of a right-click based Queen of Pain build. AC especially is going to definitely help the burst damage on Ursa. But Kaya and Sanche, even Satanic, he's committed. He's got the Reaver, so that's real interesting.
I feel like Quap used to have some like talents that really synergize with a right-click Queen of Pain build, but now the attack speed I think is level 15 when it used to be later on with more attack speed. It used to be like plus 60 attack speed.
Yeah, and her agi gain not bad either, which is why it was so punishing to play her when she built Orchid every match. That hasn't been up for a while, but Bryle's going to blink in, finds himself taunted. Sunstrike
BKB
here, but they need more damage. Bryle's very tanky, even fights inside the Wukong's command. Near the backlines, though, doing a good job at least holding back Timado, and Moon is Boxy. He'll die for that, though. And now Liquid, what's left for them here to fight with? Insania decides nothing. TP's away, does manage to at least avoid the Ogre Seal Club of Saberlight.
He had a roar ready if he did find him, but this could just be enough to maybe set up to secure themselves another Roshan. It is 45, 50 seconds away, but Liquid not really in a good position to contest that one. So much Radiant Vision around the pit, and they're hunting. They have a very good idea of where Liquid are right now.
Liquid have a great idea where they are. Bryle standing right on top of a dire ward, but Saberlight just providing so much vision. He's about to catch a glimpse of these heroes. No, hasn't quite yet. The Force Staff away. Oh no, Zai. He's going to be caught. Mickey can do nothing as he completes his TP. And that's going to be Zai taking a death. Even getting it there with the, the damage on the Dive Bomb Hawk.
Oh. And they're TPing top outpost. They're maybe going to find another kill or two here. Actually, one of the TPs cancels. It's just Moon now. And that's, initially it was 2 heroes.
Enough to scare away Mickey, though. And I think, gods, that's important. This is now Dire Jungle squarely in position and control, pardon, for TSM. With third Roche now respawning. We'll see what he carries. The Axe Blessing.
This should be a free Roshan for TSM if they scout it out. No Axe. I think Axe is kind of your team fight as Liquid. It sets up for the Monkey to do damage. It sets up for Invoker to do damage. And that's kind of one of the issues, is they're entirely reliant, I feel like, in the late game on Axe being their initiator and their setup and control, whereas on the TSM side, you've got Beastmaster Roar, Ursa can do it by himself with Blink Basher, Shaman has plenty of lockdown that bringing to the table.
Okay.
So
I was going to say, I'd be really surprised if Tomato didn't take this. This is essentially going to be an Aeon disc for him. Because they have no silences on Liquid, he can always activate this, especially when he is taunted. It doesn't silence you as far as I remember. Just forces you to attack, but he will be able to use the Enrage, and then even if there was a Cataclysm, if there was Boxy, you know, getting ready to blast off into his face, it would not be enough, really, to get through him.
Yeah. We'll see how they deal with this Ursa. I don't know. He's just got so much.
He's big
to deal with all the disables. Yeah, he is massive, and Liquid, it feels like wherever they go on the map, they're always being scattered out too. The Hawks are being just utilized really well. Not really feeling like anywhere is safe on the map for Liquid. They're just playing this big game of keep away.
No. Tomato has slotted the boots out of his inventory, though, of course, in favor of Aegis, so he is slightly easier to kite. Now he still has Blink, still has Abyssal, right? And, of course, still lots of CC on his team to assist him in this, but maybe that does make a bit of a difference here in the upcoming fight. We're going to have to see. Something I wanted to talk about, though, is when I saw these two teams play at Rio Masters, they were in groups with each other, also shared a best of 2, which I believe was split 1-1. TSM, I want to say, in both of those games were in positions to win, especially the first game, if I'm remembering it correctly, and were lacking in the coordination to really close out the game. So to see them now in this kind of rematch, sure, granted, in a different patch, they're different venue, you know, a month later after the major, but to see them still improved and really looking to close out this game, I think is really, really big for them, especially if their chances further on in this tournament.
Yeah, they're just playing it smart, slow and steady. They're going to do a very safe high ground push, just put their Aegis carry on the high ground with some Serpent Wards and put the pressure on Liquid to make a move here.
Boxy with a cheeky blink back. It's a Lincoln Sphere on Matumba, actually. As the call onto Tomato. He's going to bring him a bit forward, but in goes Bryle. They're going to force the BKB of Mickey, but he does get it off at least before the roar, so he's immune to the magic damage. The Abyssal Blade onto Matumba Man, could not get off the ulti. Now he's going to have to run. Oh, and does get the Boundless Strike back with the Shard. Mickey as well lives on a hair of HP after the Sonic Wave, and Zai dunks a Courier, dunks something so he can move a bit faster. I believe it was a Boar. Back into the fountain. Perhaps Bryle overextending, eats the cheese, gets bashed the once, but still makes it out alive. Has a big blast off from Boxy. That's going to catch Tomato by surprise. He's bashed, focused down, and killed now. Dubu might be up next. That means no more heals coming through, as Boxy even avoids a death there, utilizing the mini Cyclone ability. Zai, another call, trying to force back Tomato. They yules him up, but he's going to enrage once. He's already used his first life, still has the Abyssal Blade. Matumba beating into him with the Alacrity, finds another bash, but the Satanic back to full HP, disarmed, another Abyssal, but it's not going to matter. That's going to be a dieback then on Moon Meander, who gets back into this fight all the way from the Radiant Fountain. Saberlight as well is not going to make it out. Mickey with a triple kill in the engagement, and Liquid will hold.
Oh, this is such classic Liquid Dota, these crazy miraculous high ground defenses, and they're not done. Pop should be fine here. Has the very low blink cooldown too with the -2 seconds at 25, but without buybacks, it's only Beast Bars. This is a 2 versus 5. This could just be Liquid taking multiple lanes of racks. Maybe they go for the base here. They've got a Deso Monkeykin with a creep wave here in the mid lane. It will be refreshes on these glyphs. That's the one kind of, I think, saving grace for TSM with one of the patch changes, is they will get multiple glyphs here if needed.
And they only get the one, right? Because they've already lost a tier 2. Oh, well, they've had one, right? They saved it. They will get another one after they remove the first tier 3 tower. Effective is the changes you're bringing up. But with Alacrity, Deso, Monkey King, no buyback on Ursa for 30 seconds. They have another Fortify here. It's just refreshed.
I think you'd save it for the towers, since they can clear creep waves maybe.
Great job, though.
They're going to go for a bottom lane of racks here and see if they want to pop it now. Maybe, clear these creeps out of the mid lane. That could prompt them to glyph and try to get the backdoor protection back up. Just losing one lane here would be really nice outcome, I think, for TSM, given how bad that fight went, but it looks like it will be a second lane.
Yeah. Ursa back up in 8 seconds. Dubu holding on to the tombstone here. Liquid happy with at least full mid barracks, and the melee barracks down for the count. As they, and by the way, TSM, of course, did not get through a single lane up here top, so now mid and bottom are going to be favoring for Liquid.
Yeah. I mean, what a hold. The biggest issue there, I think, was just different targets being prioritized. Like, they were locking down, and they roared the Invoker, but the Ursa, instead of going for the Invoker, wanted to go for Matu's Monkey King, which looked like the right call. He was so close to killing him. he only survived because of the shard. Like,
Yep.
That's one use of the shard you just do not expect. As a, oh, hey, I can't, free dance my way out of here. I'm taking damage, but I can just counter strike. And basically, it's a free blink out that saves his life. So both Invoker as well as Monkey King got away on this small sliver of health because TSM split their prioritization between those two heroes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's, it's just completely reset the game. Actually, both teams holding positions in their triangles, expecting the enemy team to be smoked up and running at each other. Kind of just a big reset now. Ursa losing that third A. Just look at the net worth swing here after that fight, gods. That is an almighty mountain.
Yeah.
As I believe one artist would
I love
call
this
it.
from Zai, by the way. He's a man on a mission. He's got the ninja gear, so it's now his job to do some warding. He's able to just smoke out, get the vision down for the team, and look to set up another good fight for his side.
Plenty of 25s hitting now as well. You've mentioned Bryles with the blink cooldown. Ursa's coming up to his now. Fuzzy Wuzzy. The Rage provides half benefits to allies in a 700 radius. That seems to be new. I don't remember that one being here.
Yeah, that seems pretty damn good.
Especially now, I believe you must get that on the shard, I imagine. We'll see. He's got the talent now. He's got the point for it anyway at the ready, as Zai does miss a call. I want to see what he puts it in before we look onto other sides. As Boxy is going to blast up out of the base, but that is going to be bottom ranged barracks taken.
I feel like if he had that last fight, they'd win that fight. This talent honestly sounds insane.
Radial deafening blast for Mickey, which you saw in the last fight. Matumba going for the additional Wukong's command ring. Would make it very easy to siege for this last wave of megas as well, with how much control you get over that. And he has taken it. He has taken the point.
Yeah, this refresher is a pretty big item pickup for Matu as well. I think double ulti, double BKB. He's got plenty of mana for it too. None of his spells cost all too much. So with the Lincoln Sphere, he's got the mana pool, and that's going to be a pretty big upgrade to what he can offer in these team fights.
Even just for the defensive utility. I mean, we've had patches and matches basically of refresh BKB. I don't have to explain that one, but the one we saw in this fight just now, refresh boundless strike to get out of a fight. It might just be as simple as that from Matumba. Oh my goodness, Bridal! He's just in! Oh my, under full vision. He's got Aeondis. Maybe that's why he does it. And Moon, he is at least caught Insania, who is going downhill further to at least intercept anyone else joining the fights. But in goes Saberlight now. He's hit by the Hex of Mickey. Might even be for a bit of trouble, but a good force staff. Matumba's going to jump on over to him, set up the first Wukong's command, and a dunk from Zai is going to secure the kill onto Saberlight, who has no buyback, but Tomato with the basher is on to Zai. A good force staff, I think a double force staff out even, as he's going to make it out alive.
Nice save there.
Oh, what a DD.
A big kill.
Gods, we're not done.
Oh no. Late game DD Ursa. That's the dream. No Roshan for quite some time, but this DD, you'd much rather take a team fight with it than Roshan, if anything, but they're going to be forced back. They've got creep problems at bottom. This is the big advantage Liquid got by taking lanes of Raxes at least.
He's got vision here.
Creeps are going to keep pressuring the base.
He's Brile.
I don't think they can kill Brile, though, or maybe?
Gonna find him anyway.
Have they got the damage for
Gonna
this?
look for it. TP's incoming.
No BKB or Aeondis.
TSM, and he is gonna live through it. No Aeondis, no BKB. Just pure tankiness off of the Kaya and Sanj and the Satanic here.
Yeah, he's just 3,000 plus health. It's hard to kill Queen of Pain unless you've got maybe Monkey King there. So things will settle down. Neither team getting Roche just yet. Sanya's kind of showing himself, and if you're Tomato, he's like, man, I wish I would fought with that DD, but still plenty of time to regain control here. They need to de-ward this Roshan pick.
It's huge for them. Also huge for them is that they finally get buyback on Ursa. They proc the Aeondisc of Dubu. He actually even sets up, gets a little bit spooked there, and will erect the Tombstone. They're not going to actually have that available by the time Roche respawns. Of course, Liquid won't exactly know. Both teams know that they're in this crucial Roche window, but it's going to be basically respawned as soon as Tombstone expires. Zai and Mickey,
another kill bottom.
Yeah, they're hunting again. This time they want Saberlight.
Yep, this 3,000 health feels maybe killable if they can get the Invoker combo on him.
So
and
patient.
this time they've got Matu.
So patient.
He knows. And that's the thing. Why risk it? You can just sit by your tier 4s and use your creeps to push it out. He's dominated a flag bearer creep.
Yeah, and Tomato's into Roche here with Serpent Awards up to level 3. Hex breaks now, by the way, on the Shadow Shaman. I'm not sure if that's super relevant. It does, actually. It breaks Axe, so he can't spin while being hit.
Yeah.
Roche is dead immediately. Axe Blessing, a refresher shot on it now with a 250 mana cost, by the way. But advantage for TSM, as while Liquid go hunting for kills into the base, TSM will kill the big guy himself.
Ursa. We'll give him maybe the option to buy out for this overwhelming blink if he wants. Doesn't have to save for buyback as crucially with the Aegis in hand, but perhaps bigger is this refresher shard. What with double BKB. They just don't have the damage to kill anyone through BKB, it feels like. They have got the Abyssal now on Monkey King, but he just doesn't do this single target burst that the Ursa does. So like we saw last fight, you get the blink call on Brawl, but if he's got BKB up, he'll survive through it just because of how damn tanky he is with AC, Satanic, 3.5k health. He's always going to survive. Yep.
Might be a little bit difficult to spot the Monkey King, but he's actually the moving tree with the fireball shield around him. Don't lose him, chat. Very easy to blend in. The ginormous tree at that, by the way. His model size even grows with Bloodlust.
Heading towards that crazy late game Dota. Potential 60-minute items coming in if we can last a bit longer.
Yeah, we're really getting there. Liquid sure do like their late game Dota. I think they want to test out the rebalanced tier 5s. I believe none got adjusted. Sorry, none got removed, pardon. Mirror Shield nerfed. Ex Machina heavily nerfed. Big mana cost on this guy now, 350. Yeah. And I think that's the only one as I recall.
That's correct, yeah. Pretty big nerfs to both. Mirror Shield from 8 to 12 seconds on the cooldown, so... given how rarely games go 60 minutes, I think it makes sense to not rotate the tier 5 items out quite as much because you see them so rarely.
Pretty hard to balance them. I mean, a heavy nerf to Ex Machina, but very well deserved for sure. As TSM now, they are doing a great job at pushing in the 2 waves where they've lost Barracks in. Of course, it's going to make sure that this push is going to continue uninterrupted as Liquid. They've already lost their first 2 or 3 towers, so this is their fortify. They are recalling back heroes, though. Zai split pushes one last wave, so Top's going to push in. But he is now recalled for the base defense as Tomato is stunned up continuously, but still has Aegis for 3 minutes.
There goes his mana.
Yep, all gone.
Let's get...
Got overwhelming blink. Oh, and Zai blinks in after him now, but he enrages, of course, because he has the Axe Scepter.
You gotta get out.
Otto, though, is dying. They've got Tombstone to cover his retreat. 4 staffs as well, and the Tumba is going to proc the Aeon again of Dubu. Tumba with Refresher, though, and enough gold for buyback, certainly. Is not going to be really feeling the pain on that lost Wukongs too much. But the bottom lane of Barracks are now for TSM.
Been surprised by the glyph there. I think it's always
they're fighting. They want to try and nuke Dubu. They know he doesn't have Aeon Disc, and that's an easy kill. Now on to 2 as Refresher's being popped all over the fight. Matumba has gotten off the Wukong's command. Tomato, though, just outrunning it. He's stunned up, but he's not going to die to those soldiers thanks to the status resist that he's got. Now Zai with a jump in. He's found Bryle. He's procced the Aeon Disc as well, but he gets off the BKB before Boxing can get in there. And now Zai being eaten alive by Tomato. He's dead. Ball back for this one. Matumba onto Saberlight, but the cheese consumed in time. Matumba still trying to fight through this one, but they've lost Mickey. He's got a buyback, but Bryle and the rest of TSM winning the fight. They finally at least get through the first life on Ursa, but he's got a second one, comes back just as angry. Foxy unable to escape as it's Bryle who picks up 3 kills in the fight. Liquid lose almost everyone.
Oh, fighting. Crazily enough, they kill the Undying before he casts spells, but he has the Tombstone on death. His Tombstone was canceling blinks, building up zombie slow on everybody. It actually helped them win that fight. He died and got that Tombstone off. But also, I mean, we're looking at late game Pop Ursa who are just getting, out of control with these 6 slots of items. Just great high ground positioning. They just kited Liquid in. They're looking to close this game out.
Here they go. That's all the buybacks that Liquid have. Now with the Undying respawning. They'll be back into the game shortly. Looking like at least megas here, gods.
One Wukong's command coming up in a couple of seconds, so see if they try and force a fight around this, but this feels like they don't have the damage or control to kill an Ursa. They're so reliant on Axe to start any fight here.
BKB in 25. Axe who dies back in the fight. They want to have for another 40. TSM, they push for more. They've lost Aegis here on the Ursa. He's got overwhelming blink. He's going to use it now to get on over to the melee creeps. Barracks. Okay, little Hex. Bryle poking and prodding at Mickey. Trying to get the BKB forced out from him as Matumba's going to go drop first. Tries to get off the Wukongs, but again, roared. Good, at least harassed from Boxy, but it looks like the Barracks are going to end up going down. Matumba gets off the Wukong's command, is going to find a bash, and now the Abyssal onto Saberlight, so it's something here for Liquid, but they are now facing up against the Megas.
It feels like the call for TSM is like, all right, we lost a Beastmaster. We don't want to throw a buyback here and make some plays that could lose us the game. Let's just wait out 90 seconds or camp a high ground. Maybe you get a fight here, but if you're Liquid, you're thinking we got to stick as 5. make this Beastmaster buyback or force a fight. They're charging forward in smoke. And we'll see if TSM are ready for this. They're in full retreat mode. They seem to have a vague idea of what's coming their way. They won't see any heroes on the map. And they've got to just make sure they stick together and play things safe.
So the flag barrier creeps fully upgraded to Megas. There was a little bit of a bug where they never got upgraded. These creep waves upgrade every 7.5 minutes. They've upgraded many times in this match. Now into the 55th minute of play we go, where Zai leading the team across the map, hunting. They've got about one more wave before it's painfully obvious that they are going for a bit of an aggressive move, and now it is. The ward placed on the high ground, scouted immediately by TSM, taking no chances here. Still preserving the buyback here of Saberlights as the D ward is quick and swift by the Queen of Pain. Liquid.
It says a lot. Like, they see the ward and they wait to D-ward. They're like, okay, let's make sure it's safe, and then we'll get out.
They could
hardest to kill hero to D-ward.
Equalize Megas here. It's not free, of course. TSM with plenty of buybacks here, but crucially not one on the Ursa. He's bought out here, and the call is going to find him. But Zai, off the high ground he goes, as now Matumba onto the back lines. Moon, the Ghost Sceptered up, though, he's going to be immune. As Tomato now fighting 1v1, but Saberlight, he's bought back. He's found the roar onto Matumba, man. Matumba might go down on his first life, but the Abyssal, the Satanic, the Lifesteal, he actually gets outside of his own Wukongs, puts up the second one. Another Abyssal, thanks to the refresher onto Saberlight. He's dying here. Zai trying to get back into this fight, and is going to be doing some work here, but Tomato ripping apart the backlines now, along with Bryle, as they have gotten through the techies. Down goes Insania. Mickey fighting for their lives out here as well, but Matumba, he's had to TP back. They're starting to lose base to the Megas, but Zai, he's in. He wants the dunk, but the heals are too much. Bryle's alive. Tomato on the ultra kill, make it a rampage as he will clean up all 5 enemy heroes that went lurking near his base.
Oh, that might just be it. Yeah, unfortunately, it was Matu's got a rapier now, by the way. He bolt back after dying, and he's like, he didn't have he could have maybe bought like boots of travel. I don't know if he had the money for it or not to try to get back to the base. But like you say, the Megas were knocking at the Dire's doors, and you kind of got to defend there. So unfortunately, kind of had to leave his teammates behind, and they get picked apart. So a 2v3 defense, not impossible here.
Impossible, gods, but another DD rune for Tomato as he runs into the base.
Oh no.
Megas.
Matu will have ultimate in 15 seconds. That's the big one. That's what he really needs for this fight.
Bryle with his own Divine Rapier, gods.
Here we go. It's on.
2 in play. About to hit the hour mark, but it looks like TSM FTX, they don't want any of these tier 5 neutral items. They want to end the game here and now. And with the overwhelming physical damage, these tier 4 towers are crumbling. Throne exposed. Matumba makes the jump on in. He's got no BKB for 5 seconds. Silenced up. Still has the Abyssal Blade. Fighting on through. Tomato now. Down to Amato. Amato, look at the damage up from Matumba. Tomato, he's going down, but he's going to get the refresh, or he's going to get the enrage off. And now Matumba, he's the one going down. 2v1. Bryle and the rest of TSM will take down the Monkey King, and it's going to be game 1 going the way of TSM.
Just that, even that last fight, for a second I thought Matu was going to do it on that Monkey King. It looked like he was going to maybe like lifesteal his way through it. It just wasn't quite to be. I mean, Liquid were on the back foot for so much of this game. That amazing high ground defense gave him